Tom Parker in the red and black car on the front row. 87, it's the grey car. A 5-time winner this season, Craig Land, beside him on the grid. The red lights are on, and out they go, and it's a pretty even start from the 2 on the front row. In fact, it's a better start by Craig Land, and he's going to have the lead, and he might even be overtaken himself on the run down to the first corner. Yes, he has. It's Dan Garrett, number 19, that's come through from the outside of the second row of the grid lead. Martin West from the outside has also made a good start. There's contact a bit further back, though. That's Jeff Peake. He's been gotten into the side off. He was a winner at Mallory Park last season, I seem to remember. So a bit scrappy through Hatchett's on the first lap, but it looks like everyone has probably made it through.
A good start, like you say there, by Dan Garrett. And there's one off here as well, isn't there? That's spinning off to DeBenny, I think that was. But up front, it is Garrett that leads. I met him yesterday. He was very enthusiastic about this, and he leads the way. So I'm sure it'll be even more so. Oh, and there's another one that's gone off. This might not end well for number 9, who is spinning, and I think that car is going to be able to not hit anything for William Wright. So that's a good thing, because it didn't look like it was going to end that way at one point. But here's third, I think, Tom Parker, under pressure from Martin West. He's going down the inside here, over the dirt. That isn't really helpful for Martin West, as he went through Carter's, and therefore he stays fourth. But there's a change with the lead in front, because Craig Land's got himself up ahead of Daniel Garrett into the final bend there. Honda and the top 2 have got away. There's a big moment in the background. I think that car saved it there. And Daniel Garrett's been given a penalty according to our screen, so we thought he made a good start. Perhaps it was a little too good.
Yeah, jump start penalty. Daniel Garrett is up on the inside. There goes number 79, which is the Tom Parker car from pole position. He gets third place away from number 94, Martin West, last year's champion. I think Parker had a podium during the course of last season, didn't he? I seem to remember. I think possibly at Croft, I want to say, but I may not be completely right about that. Anyway, we've got just over 13 minutes left to go. We're only on the second lap of the race here, and Martin West is not going to give up. He's not only to get back into third place, he would like to catch the top 2, but already Landon Garrett 2 seconds ahead of the rest. Garrett, though, with that 10-second penalty that will put him back several places, but we won't know exactly how many places back until we get to the end.
Yeah, that's right. So a few moments on that first lap. I think everyone's been able to continue. So I guess this really is a net battle for second place, which, again, Martin West goes up over the curb on the inside, which really doesn't work out for him. You've got Ryan Garrett now joining in on this as they go into Honda, and a very wide line for Tom Parker here, which means he's going to be under threat all the way down towards Hatchett's, where they're going to be pretty much 3 cars across the circuit. West to the inside there.
He is. Tom Parker's later on the brakes, though. He's going to be on the outside line. And it's up on the inside. It's the 99 car of Ryan Garrett that steals past all of them, and then Parker comes back on the exit because Garrett was not quick out of the corner, was he? So he went from 5th to 3rd, back to 5th again in very short order indeed.
Yeah, that's right. So they all think we're in each position there, weren't they, in the space of about 10 seconds. So they're back in the same order. Now, if they keep battling like this, if Daniel Garrett could just follow Craig Land around, he might be able to pull 10 seconds away at this rate. They're already 3 seconds clear after 2 laps. So there is West chasing Parker then, and then Ryan Garrett. Then Paul Clark has got himself up there into P6, and Rob Apsley's going with them too. Then there's a bit of a gap, bit of bump drafting going on there, which is potentially dodgy in these conditions. That's Ryan Garrett pushing Martin West past Tom Parker. They've both gone past him, so they worked together there, and it worked out for them, I guess. They've got themselves up ahead then of 79 Parker. Then Paul Clark and Rob Apsley come through, but this group are a long way behind the race leaders.
Big moment for Tom Parker on the way out of Honda. He collected that up nicely, though, but it starts to bring Paul Clark back into the equation as well, or into the equation for the first time, I should say, and he's going to have a look up the inside as they head into Hatchett's hairpin. They turn in together, and Paul Clark's done it. I think he's going to run wide on the exit of the corner, and can Parker therefore get the better acceleration out of it on the inside line for Spitfires? Yes, he can do. So, again, a short-lived place change that. Oh, there's one car out. That's up against the pit wall, I think.
Yeah.
Just down beneath our complex. The driver, thankfully, out of the car very quickly, but the car up against the pit wall beneath us.
Yeah, we can't see what car that is, so tight it is against the wall. But here...
Red flag, race being stopped.
Okay.
Shown, red lights are going to go on. They go out, and away we go. that 10-second penalty might be applied to this race, Tom. You don't know. We'll have to wait and see what happens. He's made a good start to this one, though, again, and he's got into the lead of the race. He's had Martin West follow him. Pole position car has gone back to third place. Paul Clark has been very late on the brakes. Let's see where he ends up. Nearly in Pembrokeshire, I think, but he does turn into the hairpin in fourth place. But there's Carl Roycenars, number 84. Be interesting to see what progress he can make. He had made some progress from his original grid slot, though. Yeah,
he's up to 9th, so he started there on the 5th row. Originally, he started 14th, so that's a bit better. But here come the leaders, with Craig Land, the initial leader, down to 3rd there in 87. But he's behind Daniel Garrett and Martin West. There's Paul Clark ahead of Ryan Garrett, who's run out wide here because there's a lot of dirt being chucked up. It was Craig Land, I think, because he's under a lot of pressure there from Paul Clark, and he's out over the curbs as well as they go out of Brooklands there and up towards the Carter's curve, which is flat out even in these conditions. And up front, Daniel Garrett starting to get away. We just heard from him before this restart occurred. There's Paul Clark, who we also heard from. Both drivers going well here at the start of this restarted race. We haven't got confirmation of how long this may be, so we'll be keeping an eye out again to see if a checkered goes out when it goes out. But we've had one lap. Nothing's being shown on the screen for any kind of penalty for Daniel Garrett, so it looks like he is the leader. 2nd is Martin West, 3rd is Craig Land, Paul Clark, 4th there's Roycenars, he is 8th then, and challenging Rob Apsey. They're just behind Tom Parker, who initially did start from pole position on the first start.
Okay, so we are working our way around the second lap of this restarted Demon Tweeks Yokohama Low-Cost Championship race. Daniel Garrett leading by 0.6 of a second at the end of lap 1. Watching the battle going on between Ryan Garrett, who's got ahead of Paul Clark, then Paul Clark with that rather dirty green and yellow number 82 car. He's back down into 5th position. Then Tom Park is 6th. Of course, he started on the pole position originally, so he's had a disappointing first few laps across the 2 starts that we've had. Oh, and another car has come to a stop, I'm afraid. That's number 90, Thor Tuller, the driver from Oxford. That car is stationary. Not quite sure how far off the road it is, but the race continues in the meantime. It's Daniel Garrett leading the way then from Martin West in 2nd place. No, it's not, because it's Craig Land that's now come through in 2nd place. So we have had a change, Josh.
Yeah, and the rain's coming down a lot heavier as well now, as we've had 2 laps of racing with Garrett out front, 1.7 seconds clear of Craig Land. There's Paul Clark, who's 5th. In front of him, Ryan Garrett uses lots of road to go through.
Yellow flags down there, though, because that's where Thor Tuller's car's off.
Right, okay. That might be something.
Martin West out of shape there as well.
Yeah, so I think there might be some sorting out at the end of this race, but nevertheless, we call it as it is for now. There is Martin West, who had just lost that position to Ryan Garrett, who's in there behind Craig Land. But remember, Daniel Garrett is a long way ahead of everybody at this point. Here's 7th and 8th, Rob Apsey ahead of Carl Roycenars in 84, with the colourful roll cage on that car, making it very much stand out against the rest. Out over the curb sideways is 99, Ryan Garrett, that was, who is now in 3rd position after getting past Martin West early in the lap.
Yep, so this is lap 3 of this race. There is 87, Craig Land then, the driver that's won all 5 of the races so far this season. He's got his work cut out to do that on the road, at least today.
Yeah, the lead had a big twitch out of Honda curve. You saw him pull right to the inside of the circuit, and that's because he had a big old slide going on.
Tom Parker trying to get 5th place away from Paul Clark there. We can see there's the race leader, Daniel Garrett, arriving at Hatchett's hairpin, but a bit further back it was side by side for 5th and 6th. So we'll see if we can pick that up in a moment. It looks like Tom Parker out of our commentary box window has got ahead of Paul Clark there. You could just see them going through shot there as they head to Spitfires. There is the leader, Daniel Garrett. Craig Land in 2nd, Ryan Garrett 3rd. There's Martin West in 4th, and there they are for 5th and 6th, and it is Tom Parker now ahead of Paul Clark.
Yeah, that's right. So fighting back is the initial pole sitter there then. 79, Tom Parker ahead. Also in this you've got Apsey, Roycenars and Peak, so 5 cars all pretty close together on lap 4 of this restarted race. There's Tom Parker though in front, as we were saying, of Paul Clark. You see quite a lot of cars getting plenty of oversteer as they come out of Brooklands and try and get the power down, but there's very little grip to achieve that. But everybody's staying just about on the road in this group. There is Paul Clark then, who has dropped a couple of spots from the opening laps. So he's there in 6th. Here are the leaders. It was 1.86 seconds after 3 laps, but 4 laps are completed with a reduced gap now of 1.02, with a fastest lap from Craig Land, a 1:14.21, which is just a few tenths slower than qualifying this morning.
About 4 seconds outside the lap record as well, which again doesn't seem that much given the conditions. That was a 1:10.12 for Tom Collett 11 years ago. That lap record was set. So 1.02 seconds between the two leads, and I think that's come down already during the course of this lap as well. So Craig Land wanting to make it 6 victories out of 6 at the start of the season in the Demon Tweeks Yokohama Locost Championship. He's got Daniel Garrett to try and pass in order to do so. Garrett, who's 4th in the championship coming into this weekend.
Great shots here from Alpha Live. The leader's gone off. That wasn't what I was going to say. Where's he gone?
Onto the that's the Rallycross circuit, I think, rather than the short circuit.
Well, what I was going to say was the Alpha Live shots of, again, you can see it here, the hands at work. Lots are going on inside the cockpit of these open low-cost cars, and a bit too much going on there for Daniel Garrett, who's had that spin and lost so many places.
Lost a lot of places. We'll see in a minute when they come over the line exactly how many he's lost, but Craig Land now is the leader, and it's Ryan Garrett, number 99, in second place as the checkered flag goes out. So, what a moment to lose the race lead then for Daniel Garrett, because he's lost out on what turned out to be the last lap of the race.
Yeah, his brother's got second out of it though, so Ryan Garrett comes second. But another win for Craig Land. It looked on the initial start it was going to go his way, and then on the restart it didn't look like Craig Land was going to achieve a victory there, but he had. So that's 6 out of 6 for the driver that's won races in the past, but this year going so well. Yeah,
Daniel Garrett 10th in the end, over the line, 8.25 seconds off the victory, so a very costly spin up there at Senna, wasn't it, really, at the end, the end of the 5th lap of the race, as it proved to be the final lap of the race, with us, of course, having that restart with the red flag for the car losing its wheel up against the pit wall in the first start of the race. We do get 2 more races tomorrow for the Demon Tweeks Yokohama Low-Cost Championship, but let's have a look at the result of that one. 87 was the race winner. That was Craig Land by 0.8 of a second from number 99, Ryan Garrett. In 3rd place, it was number 94. That was Martin West, so another podium for the reigning champion, ahead of Tom Parker, number 79, in 4th place. Paul Clark was 5th, and Robert Apsey, number 73, was 6th, ahead of Carl Roysenars, up several places from his starting position. In 8th place was number 29, that was Jeff Peake. In 9th place was number 40, David Martin, and Daniel Garrett, after that spin, rounding out the top 10. 11th was number 96, Jonathan Higgins, ahead of William Wright. Glenn Boyer 13th, Todd Boucher 14th, Brad Horsnell 15th, and Ian Hardy, Rob Hardy, with a different spelling, Glenn Griffiths, Daniel Russell and Nick Garrett rounding out the top 20. Bill Ward and Jeanette Malpas did make it to the end, but Thor Tuller we lost after just 1 lap of the race. So as I say, 2 more races this weekend for the Demon Tweeks Yokohama Low Cost Championship. They race tomorrow at about 20 past 10 in the morning, and again at about 20 past 2 in the afternoon. Drivers, you can see, heading down pit lane after that race. 5-lap race as it was in the end. Craig Land did get the best lap, a 1:14.21. No improvements to that on the final lap of the race. Still lots more to come this afternoon. We've got Mighty Minis coming up next. Then we've got the Jaguar Type R Trophy, Race Parts Historic 750 Formula Series, then the RLM Racing Sports 1000 Championship, and the K-Tech Racing Clio Sport Championship. But all of that to come in just a few minutes' time after we hear from the top 3, once again with Johnny Palmer.
Craig Land is the winner of the first Demon Tweeks Yokohama Low Cost Championship race, perhaps seeming quite unlikely a result going into that final lap. Unfortunately, that very late spin for Daniel Garrett means that he dropped down to, I think, 9th or 10th position. So it'd be interesting to get a word with Craig here, because he's no stranger to the top step of the podium, but I'm sure he wouldn't necessarily like to win a race in that respect, because you'd fallen, Craig, to second, and a spin for Daniel ahead of you. You inherit the win, effectively.
Yeah, I guess after the restart, he's sort of thrown everything into the mix again. Like you said, I went in second, and it was just the chasing game then. I've seen how many laps I've got left, where there was 3, 2, and then the last lap flag came out, and I thought I could keep trying and keep pushing it, and obviously I pushed him over the limit, obviously trying to remain the gap, trying to stop me from getting the toe down the next 2 straights. But obviously Yeah, I mean, I feel gutted for Dan. He was absolutely flying, so just to lose it on that third to last bend, it's. But for me, obviously, it's great for the championship.
So there was no contact. It was just a spin because of the pressure you were applying, and credit to you for that.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. No contact. I think he just went out wide like I did on lap 5 or something. He did the same thing, but back end came out and sent him across the track. And yeah, to be honest, I didn't even realise it was the last lap flag. So that was just a bonus coming over the checker flag and taking the win. It's perfect for the championship as well.
It's another win, and I owe you this as well. Congratulations. That's adding to a growing collection for you.
Cheers. Sorry, thank you very much.
Well done. We'll move forward now to Ryan Garrett, who, of course, also gains a position. Unfortunately, though, after the bad luck for Daniel. So, Ryan, mixed emotions for you, I suppose. Yeah, tell us about it.
Yeah, just gutted for my brother, really. He had first lead in the race and then just lost it on the last corner. But, you know, I'm happy I got second, so, yeah.
I mean, how much of a view of Daniel's moment did you have?
Pretty much all of it. Right. So I was concentrating on him the whole last corner. I was like, oh, no. But, you know, I knew it was coming on to the last lap, so you just have to kind of get your head down and crack on. No, he's a competitor at the end of the day. So yeah.
Exactly, your brother's out of the car, but it's just another driver, I suppose, when you get into the car. Were the conditions changing a lot through the race?
Very, very much so, yeah. I found a lot slippier towards the end. We started with a dry line and ended with a wet line, basically. So, yeah, is what it is.
There's more races, and Daniel can get back on the saddle.
Yeah, well, we start next to each other on the next race, so...
That's going to end very well, I have a feeling. We've just about got time to have a chat to Martin, I reckon. Yeah, Martin, how was that for you? I suppose you were looking at 4th place for so long, and a podium it is.
Yeah, like I say, I see poor Dan going off on that last corner. He only had to hold it for a couple more corners, but he'll get there. It was good driving by him. He was quickest than the top 3, 4 of us, I think, by far. He just made that one silly mistake, and he'll learn from it and go again.
Did you all know that was the last lap?
Nope, no idea. No last lap boards, but you can't really blame the officials because obviously we had the red flag, so they're just trying to fit us in as best they can. So.
And then it just becomes, it should have been 15 minutes, and then they have to chisel a bit of time off, I suppose.
Yeah, to be honest, I think we were all pretty much sat in the positions where we were. We got another 5 or 6 laps, it would have stayed the same, obviously, apart from the mistakes. But yeah, that was, without going silly and putting the cars in danger, that was about it, I think we had.
Well done, Martin. 3rd place it is. Martin West finishing in 3rd. And we move forward now with the guest category, which is the Castle Combe Racing Cup for the Mighty Minis Racing Championship.